Alright, as you guys can see, the chaos is still here, but today is a good day because now we are going to start cleaning up the chaos because I am mostly done, not completely done, but mostly done what I need to do for the PinCab. A lot of big updates that I've been doing, things I wanted to do, either to fix damages from when we moved here a couple years ago or other design things that, I always wanted to take care of under like inside that's you guys don't ever see, but it's always an issue or a pain for me. So I'm just gonna go through things real quick while I have things opened up and that you can actually see. Let's just talk about the obvious stuff here. Okay, first of all, yep, I got a fire button. A fire button on my lockdown bar. I finally, got that taken care of. I've always wanted to have one there. I still need to put like some kind of little plate here, but yep, you're gonna have finally a centralized fire button, just like a typical modern Stern pinball cabinet would have. And of course, what the heck is that above the fire button? Well, that is it's a screen, a small screen. Now I'm going to have basically an apron screen that's going to be used for, well, anything you want. It can be used for, if you want to have the DMD display there, sure, you can do that. If you want to have topper videos, you can do that. If you want to have under videos, you can do that. Or if you want to have instruction cards, you can do that. It's pretty much whatever you want. Like it just, it's there for anything. I don't know. I'm going to figure it out. Who knows what I'm going to use it for. So the other big thing you're going to see, of course, is the now no longer no split bezel. Now we're back or up to a modernized 16:9 middle screen, similar to a modern Stern cabinet, and with PUP DMD now supporting that. That was a big thing I wanted to do for quite a while. So I finally updated that. So now any of my updates in the future that have PUP DMD will now take full advantage of that. It will look awesome. And I got, finally so much better than what I had before. No more carbon fiber wrap. No more chrome trim. Except for up there, but that's going to eventually get replaced. But yeah, so it's normal speaker covers. And if you look closely, you still can see I have the LED lighting inside to act as flashers as well. And this opening here, yeah, that's where my blower fan is now. Yeah, it's actually right inside this part here. It's facing upward, and it kind of shoots out this way. It actually works quite well. I was really surprised, So yeah, because once I decided to go with this, I was like, yep, I'm just gonna stick that blower fan in there, and sure enough, it worked really well. So now, having done all of this, I'm now going to be able to have an actual normal glass in here. So the glass is going to be coming in a couple weeks. So, that's the biggest things. The topper, I will eventually get around to either replacing or updating or whatever. I do have another one of these screens. I don't know for sure if I'm going to put it up there as a topper screen or not. It's a wait and see. Well, one, I don't even have enough outlets left inside the PinCab. So, and that was the other big thing was I basically took the PC guts that were on a tray, and I put them in this PC, and that PC is going to serve triple duty to be for the PinCab, for VR, and for my sim pit over here. So that's part of what all this is about. So yeah, so let's get it over here, and I guess I'll quickly go through and I'll show you some of what's inside and explain some of it as best I can. I know you guys can't see in the front very well, but the biggest changes are tilt bob, and believe it or not, it's actually hooked up. Yes, the tilt bob and the fire button currently are both hooked up to the Pinscape, which is also actually connected. So now I'm actually going to have a tilt bob that actually works. Analog nudging, if you want to use it, that works. I'll have to calibrate all that, but that's not a big deal for me. But, it will work if people want to use it. And, of course, the fire button. All of those are working off the Pinscape. I'm still using my hacked up controller. That's an Xbox 360 gamepad that's hooked up to all the buttons and the plunger. That all of that is controlled by one Xbox 360 gamepad. Now, if I really want, if you see that DB25 parallel connector cable, the way I originally had this was I had two of those. One that would hook up to originally my arcade control panel, and the other one that hooks up to all of the controls in the cabinet. Well, eventually, if I really want, I can take that out and then have all the cabinet controls just go to the Pinscape. Eventually one day I might get around to doing that. All right, so we've got audio amplifier, or sorry, audio sub, stern shaker motor. Speakers in the back don't actually get used anymore, but the one speaker down here has the volume and volume adjuster on it, so I still use it for that. And what else we got in here? Now, you can't quite see in there, but you can see them over here. Those are transducers, or Dayton pucks. They're basically exciters, or MIDI bass shakers. I've actually got 8 of them in here. You normally only would use 4 for surround sound feedback, but my amplifier that I'm using in here, which I took out of the sim pit, that requires the impedance to match properly, and so I can't use just 4 of these because they're 16 ohms each. So what I do is I use them 2 in parallel for 1 channel, and that makes the impedance match more correctly. And as a result, I decided, well, you know what, I'm just going to throw all 8 in there. So I've got 2 in this corner, 2 in that corner, and 2 in these corners as well, like 1 on that wall and 1 on that wall. So it actually kind of works out nicely for the sound and the feedback. So I decided to go with that, and so far it's been sounding pretty good. All right, so yeah, so this is I guess you could call this my feedback board. That's, you know, you got the amplifier on there, and your LED whiz, which controls your solenoids, your lights, beacon strobes, the flashers that are inside the speaker holes there, and the under cab lighting, which you can't see here obviously. So that it controls all that. It controls your shaker, it controls all the mechanical feedback in the basic normal lighting. Now right there, that's a teensy. That teensy controls all the addressable LEDs, which is this back matrix and the side ones that you'll see here, which I won't have in until after I have the TV in. But if I had the TV in, then I couldn't show you anything. So that's why I'm showing you this while I have a chance. This is a relay board. Today, I wouldn't normally use that, but, you know, everything works, so I'm not going to just rip it all up for the sake of ripping it up, you know. But, yeah, that's used for the solenoids. The LED whiz basically tells the relay to turn on or off, and because this is, you know, like an inductive high-powered device, you can't use it with the LED whiz, so we use a relay to kind of like act as like an on-off switch, but also an isolator, so they stay isolated from each other. But it can also handle high current and high power as well. And those are the cheap little Chinese amplifiers for the LED lights there, the normal ones. And you can see here under the addressable LED panel in the back there how they this is actually one small square panel, a bigger middle-sized one, and another small one, and they're all just linked up together. And the way I did it this time was, here, I'll come around to the back here. We'll open this sucker up. I don't know how well you can see this. It's going to be a mess, but yeah, if you look up there, what I did was I basically had the power come up to this strip and for the 5 volts for all the addressable LEDs, and then I just had that tap off into each of the main matrices. So the one that's going to be going down there, the one that's going to be going down there, and the one up here. It's all tapped into each one directly. And that way, everything's right here in one spot. They all just plug in nice and easily. So much easier than the way I had it before. So much better. And see, this is the monstrosity that is inside my cab. So, yeah, take a look, you know, while you can. I mean, it ran solid. You know, I would not do it, you know, this way today. It would be a lot more, you know, compact and clean, but, like, you know, it works well. I've got the power supply, the 24-volt power supply for that amplifier, which drives all the surround sound feedback. My normal speakers are up there, and the way this all works is it's a 171 sound card on your computer. The front channels are your normal game audio. The surround left and right, or side left and right, and surround rear left and right, those are specifically only for surround sound feedback, mechanical feedback, as in like a ball rolling or flippers, slings, bumpers, that kind of thing. You know, all the stuff that you can't get from a solenoid is what you'll get on surround sound feedback, as well as the normal stuff that you get, like bumpers and slings and all that. So, yeah, a lot of stuff going on here, guys. It is a lot of work. I've been busting like crazy last week to get this thing completely updated and to build these pieces from scratch and get them working, because you got to figure out how it's going to fit, and you have to change things over and over again, and then do it the right way, because it's hard to know for sure. Like, I'm not going by someone else's design. I'm kind of just going on my own here and doing stuff from scratch. So that's the part I hate. I hate the engineering aspect of it. I hate that aspect. Oh God, and I hate the woodwork. I'll do the woodworking stuff, but I don't have much for tools. I just have a crappy Ryobi table saw and a Ryobi jigsaw. That's all I was working with. An electric drill. Nothing else, guys. That's all I got. The rest was all done by hand. Like, I don't have a router. I don't have any of that stuff. I did all that by hand. It's such a pain. So yeah. So I guess I just wanted to show you guys that. I know it's been kind of going on and on here, but I figured I'd show you guys while I have it opened up and give you guys an idea of what's going on and how she's going to look. On my first test, everything actually worked right off the bat. I was so happy, no problems whatsoever. So now, once everything's in place, I'm going to have my TV here, but then I'm going to have the little sort of like a wooden side blade, if you will, for the addressable LEDs. And then I'm seriously considering getting, just like I have in the back here, plexiglass piece to cover that's tinted. So that way you don't see the LEDs on the side at all, just like you don't on the back until they actually light up. And it'll look really sharp that way. And then when the glass comes in, it's going to cover all that, so that's why there's a gap here, because you have to allow for the glass to come in, right? And as far as this lockdown bar, there's no mechanism under there. It's literally just a normal lockdown bar that snugly fits in here. I don't need to lock it down. It holds really nicely, and I can just kind of grab it and pull it up, and it plops off. And then as far as that light, I actually have it wired on a Molex connector, so I can disconnect it, or you could just rotate it and pop it off like a normal arcade button LED button light does anyway. So yeah, it all works out pretty good so far. We'll see. I still have to then follow up getting the sim pit cleaned up and get that tidy, and then trying to see about getting all of these working together. Because the other thing I did was I made the tray expanded inside, so that way, I can move the tray in and out with all the wires tied to the sides without any concern. So if I want to put a PC back in here, I absolutely can, and then the PC can roll in and out without me having to disconnect anything, move it out of the way, or any of that kind of stuff. So that was all part of all this stuff I've been doing. It is a lot of work, guys. Oh my God, it's a lot of work. But yeah, she's come together, and she's going to look really good. So that's my progress. That's my rambling. My wife, God bless her, she doesn't come down here very often, so she doesn't have to bear witness to most of this craziness. And then, hopefully it'll be back to normal, and and we'll try doing some normal stuff. So, all right. So I'll give another update when I have something better to show off, when it's actually in action, and see how it looks, and everything. So I guess I'll see you then, guys. Bye.